My name is Kim. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Kim.
How are you? Music has been a pretty significant part of my life. And Elaine, you were supposed to introduce me, and I totally cut you off.
That's okay, babe. You fam.
I've been here. I'll do the introduction. I've been here 14 years.
Exactly.
I wrote the introduction. So. Sorry, Elaine. I got really excited with the music. I was doing the whoa. Yeah. I've been here 14 years at the Light community. I've taken 1,000 classes from Reverend Deborah. Some of you may know from back in the day, I produced a documentary called God and Gaze, Bridging the Gap. So Rev D was in that. Light Choir was in that. So my professional career spans something like that looks like close to chaos. But the theme is that I've always just tried to help people through storytelling. And that's my intent with today, is to tell you how I started my new beginning. That's my topic today, within the theme of awakening this month. New beginnings is the topic. That I'll share with you how I created my new beginning by becoming awake. And for those who love to take notes, I even came up with a lovely acronym for you. Let me take you back 18 months. The end of a 14-year relationship. Couple of kids. I had gained 30 pounds. I didn't recognize myself anymore. And if you know the lyric of what I just said, that's from a song by Linkin Park called Numb, and that's how I felt. I felt numb. I didn't feel anything. I couldn't feel emotions. I was so dead inside. I allowed that. I own that. That's my responsibility. I'm not blaming anybody. I allowed myself to get that way. I just wanted to crumple into a corner and just blow away like dust. I didn't want anyone to see me. I was angry. I was quick to trigger. I wasn't very fun. I couldn't even smile. Here's an example that happened over and over and over again, is I would go into a grocery store. You know how, you walk in and the doors open automatically, and it's light outside, dark inside, and I walk in and then I adjust, and there's always somebody in the produce section with a cart who is smiling at me. I just walk in and they're smiling at me. Total stranger. But what do I do then? I look away. Something. I look for a watch that isn't there, I look away. I can't even smile back. I can't even take that in. I can't even take that simple gesture of a stranger sending me a smile. Because I was struggling so hard with self-confidence, so hard with self-worth. I was struggling. The weight did not help. Sugar was my thing. And that's how it would show up physically, but also just how I just wasn't alive. I wasn't awake. From January to September last year, I didn't have a place to live. I was in a perpetual suitcase out of my car, and by the good graces of my incredible friends, who I call the tribe, I got to stay in their houses and hotels for 9 months. I didn't have a place to live. And it was also with that same tribe that they were so encouraging and so patient with me. And they let me cry. They let me act like an idiot. They saw me go through everything. And then around May, they said, all right, Kim, it's time for you to get a little bit more social. Because I had really trapped myself. I had taken myself out of the game, right? When you struggle with self-worth, that's one of the choices that we make sometimes. So they're like, you need to go out, you need to meet people, let's get more social. So I agreed to go dancing because, again, music is playing a role in my life. Music, you'll see through my story here, has been a soundtrack. I'm even going to share a soundtrack with you at the end. I'm not singing, don't worry. I actually thought when I was younger, if I could make a living lip syncing, I would totally do it. But then I thought I'd be singing somebody else's words, and that's not authentic to me. I'll talk about authenticity too. So I agreed to go dancing. I love to go dancing. My favorite way to burn calories is to go dancing. So I go down to Carmel, and I go dancing in a really small club with a friend of mine. I'm gay, if you didn't know, and the friend I went with was straight, and she's totally cute, and she always gets hit on perpetually, and she's even older than me and everything. So I fully expected she'd get attention. And so I walk in, and I'm not on the dance floor 5 minutes. There's a bridal party partying over off to the side. One of the girls spins off the bridal party and starts talking to me. And I think she's talking to my friend, and she keeps talking to me, and she keeps talking to me, and she keeps talking to me. And I'm just like thinking, wow, she's super friendly. She's not even drunk. But I'm just going with it. I'm answering her questions, and she's super nice. She's really cute. And then the bridal party decides to go off somewhere else, and right before they take off, she's like, dance with me, takes my arm, pulls me over to dance with her and stuff. So I'm dancing for a few minutes and stuff, and then she's got to go, and then off they go. And then after they leave, my friend walks up to me, who's like this tall to me, right off the side of my head. What were you doing? What? What did I do? What? She was so hitting on you, and you did nothing but answer her questions? I'm like, yeah. What? Wait, what? She was hitting on me? I was so oblivious. And I look back, and it's totally embarrassing if I told you all the details, which are not appropriate for a pulpit, of the kinds of things she was saying to me. So I felt like an idiot. But it really got me thinking, if I was oblivious to something so freaking obvious as that, what else am I not awake to? What else is life trying to bring to me? What kind of good is life trying to bring to me? Opportunities that life is trying to bring to me, and I'm not awake. I'm not alert to it. I'm not open to it. I'm not seeing it. That I'm still oblivious. And that started me on this journey of this kind of pivot, this kind of turning point of like, I need to wake up. I need to wake the F up. Because life is trying to give me something, and life is trying to give me opportunity here, and I'm not seeing it, and I'm pushing it away, and I'm missing out. What am I missing out on? So I'm going to share with you the 5 things that helped me become awake and start and launch my new beginning. They're not in any kind of order. They're just to fit the acronym. Okay? So if you like to take notes, there's pens in the front there, and you've got your bulletins. Or just go on your phone. Just don't text friends. Unless you're telling them to go on the live stream. So one of the first things was, and this ties into what Jeff was talking to, was arise. And arise for me was in 2 pieces. One was physically. Remember how I said I was crumpled? I felt like I was crumpled in the corner, not wanting anyone to see me. I stood the F up. I got physical again. I got energy again. I stood up. I changed my stature. And then the second part was releasing. Because part of being crumpled up in the corner was the weight. There was a weight of guilt, a weight of holding on to the story. I never thought I'd be that statistic, right? That was never my intention. I was going to be the one family member that didn't have that statistic. So I had to release, and I had to do a lot of self-forgiveness. And Katie Hendricks talks about commitment, and then there's recommitment. And that's where the Rise Up song really plays a role for me, because remember what Jeff was reading was, I'll rise up, I'll write, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I kept saying that to myself. I'm going to rise up. I'm going to rise up. I can do this. And I'm going to do it 1,000 times again. That lyric right there means everything to me. Second one, walk my path. In all my excitement, I forgot my books. Thank you. So this one is, where'd the stand go? Thank you. You guys are looking out for me. I appreciate that. Brene Brown, Braving the Wilderness. My Christmas gift from my mom, who's watching from Florida. Hey, Mom. We're reading it together. Has a quote in here from Joseph Campbell. You might have heard of him. Braving Wilderness. I feel like the Oprah book club. Here's your book club book, Kanane. If you can see your path laid out in front of you step by step, you know it's not your path. Your path you make with every step you take. That's why it's your path. I feel a shift in my career emerging. I've been doing the Silicon Valley thing for a long time, and that has its own tracks. But if you think about when we walk somebody else's path, think about the times that you have gone into another room in your house and you walk in, you're like, what was I doing? What was I going to get? I don't remember why I'm here. Why am I in the bathroom? Holding pepper? What's you know, autopilot, right? That's not awake. It's funny and freaking entertaining to watch, but it's not awake. What would awake look like if we are walking our own path when there is nothing forged ahead? You have to be awake. You have to be intentional with every single one of your steps. This is the year to be intentional, deliberate in your decision making. One choice at a time. Every micro decision adds up. Walk your own path. And as whatever this career shift that wants to emerge happens, it reminds me of the title of my thesis. Comfort zones are slow dream killers. I'm hearing some snaps. So staying in Silicon Valley culture and the tech world is a comfort zone. I can do it in my sleep. So what does my path look like? And how am I going to live my own thesis title of getting out of my comfort zone? Because my dreams does not include Silicon Valley culture. Yeah. So having the confidence and courage, I'm getting there. The guts, yeah, to take my own path. There's a song by Andy Grammer called Good to Be Alive, Hallelujah, that really embodies the walk my path for me. The next one, authenticity. Ladies and gentlemen, authenticity is the fastest way to get the opportunities that you want. This is what I know. It is the fastest way to get the opportunities that you want. So here's an example. I have always dated straight women. I don't know what that was about. And bisexual. And so my friends have been on me and on me and on me for getting on an app. I was super resistant. I'm sure we all have our opinions. But I read product reviews and I chose an app. And I was very authentic in my cute little profile. I have pictures of the backs of the heads of my kids, not their faces. But showing that I'm a mom, I want them to know that up front, that is important to me. and that I also have pictures of my feet in a hammock, so it shows how chill I am. And, and a couple of other pictures where I just try to look cute, right? I tell the truth about my age, and I self-identify as lesbian, right? Which is a word that I totally had issues with. That's another topic. And I only was looking at other profiles of people who I self-identified as lesbian, because I wanted that authenticity in return. So the first 3 women that I start chatting with, cute profiles, all awesome. Turns out 1 was a scam asking me for money, and 2 were catfish. Catfish are fake profiles of God knows who, with fake profiles, and they just string you along. They never actually want to talk to you or meet you or anything. They're just living some sort of a fantasy life. So once I figured that out, reverse phone lookup is a tip, by the way. I felt embarrassed. I was like, I got all this attention, and then they're fake, and they want money from me? You know how long it took me to get to this point to feel ready to date and get on an app, and then this is what happens for the first 3 people? Are you kidding me? I felt like crap. I felt embarrassed. I felt shamed. I took my profile off. I licked my wounds. And then that authenticity came back. It said, you know what? I'm not going to let other people's BS hold me back from what I want. So I put my profile back up, and within 12 hours, I got a profile from a forest with initials. Let me explain. So there was 4 pictures on there. There was a forest, didn't have a name, it's just initials. And then there was a picture of a vegetable stand, the Golden Gate Bridge, and that bridge in Monterey, I can't remember the name of it. Big Sur. And so I'm looking at it going, you know what? This screams fake to me. Initials even? I mean, are you kidding me right now? I'm like, no way. And then the next day, I just felt like taking a look again. And I took a look again. And I was getting other requests and stuff, but I went and took a look at that profile again to see just in case there was a picture put on there. And there wasn't, but there was a text note added onto it. And it said, if I like you, like me back, and I'll send you pictures. And I went, is that a note for me? Is that a note for me? And so I'm like, you know what? A profile with photos didn't work out so great for me. How about a forest with initials? What's there to lose? A forest with initials wants to connect with me. Okay. Why not? And so I connect with it. Hit it off right away. She sent photos right away. And it's been a couple of months now, and it's going really well. So, yeah. And then the song, yeah, I'm going to let that go. But Be As You Are by Mike Posner is a really beautiful song that kind of speaks to me as far as this point is concerned. Okay, the linguists and the grammar people in here are going to kill me, but I'm going to put courage with the K. I have the courage to misspell courage. Let me reread a couple of lines from the affirmation, which, if you don't have this book from Reverend Deborah, I really highly recommend that you guys get it. It's one of those books where you just kind of go like this, and then you see what's supposed to be spoken to you. The courage and surrender of yes was the name of the affirmation, and these are the lines that I really want to double-click on. I remain open to the greater possibilities that I have yet to recognize. Awake. I have the courage to stand where I am and take the next step ahead of me. Courage, 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 courage. I've had to outgrow a lot of money thoughts in my life and different points in my life. And there were times when I wasn't sure how things were going to get paid, right? Anyone else? Yeah? Any witnesses? Okay. So, when you're going through a divorce and stuff, there's, tends to be costs associated. A lot of costs can be associated. And so I had put my savings aside for those costs. And then I got word that I needed a catalytic converter. Okay, so some people know how much that is. Plus, oh, by the way, you need tires. So $3,000 later. But fortunately, when the cost came due, a loan also came through. And I have story after story after story of how I have figured out to trust universe. Trust that something amazing is awaiting me. Over and over, my whole life is a testimony to just when I let go, when I get out of my own freaking way, if I don't worry because I'm just going to bring what I don't want, if I worry, trusting universe, trusting that amazing awaits me, works out every single time, and it usually doesn't look how I thought it would look. Do I also have witnesses to that? Okay. Katy Perry fans, you'll be happy. I've chosen Roar as the courage. There's lions and tigers involved. Okay, the last one, embrace curiosity. Embrace curiosity. I've taken the drama triangle class from Rev D. What are the 3 pieces of the drama triangle? Victim, villain, hero. Okay. And the essence of that course is, how about we get off the triangle? Yeah. Let's just be crazy and just do something really wild and crazy and get off the triangle entirely. And another thing that Rev D says that has always meant so much to me when I'm in potentially confrontational situations, drama is optional. Yeah. So lately, here's how I've been awake in embracing curiosity, is that I have gone through ego checks in a way that I had never have before. By being awake, I'm able to check my ego. And recently, I've had a couple of really hard conversations, and they could have gone sideways really quickly. However, although the opportunity was there to be reactionary and to blame and feel the victim, put myself create the triangle just so I could make room for myself to be the victim on it, I decided I'm just going to be curious about this. What's this about? Okay, she's flying off the handle. She's in her reptilian brain right now. She's saying not so nice things. Okay, all right. Okay, interesting. Curious. And it completely calmed the situation. And I didn't get all jacked up and feel like a failure because of all the things that she said about me, and feel like bad about myself, which was totally my tendency. I am my own harshest critic, but I have figured out that I talk to myself more than anyone else talks to me, so that self-talk, again, the ego check, right? Being curious, embracing curiosity around this has been really, really huge for me in staying awake, because if you're not awake in those kinds of hard conversations, they tend to be you being in a defense, or me being in a defense situation, and then it's about being right. And what the heck? How productive is that? And I went into the conversation knowing it was going to be a hard conversation. I even remember saying to myself, what is my intent? If you've taken Crucial Conversations, you're familiar with this little piece of advice, which is go in thinking, what kind of long-term relationship do I want to have with this person? What is my intent in this conversation? My intent in those conversations was to respect the situation, respect the person, like them later, but respect them now, kind of a thing. So, Be the Change by Gina Renee is my soundtrack for Be the Change. So in the last 18 months, guys, I've changed my body. I've lost over 25 pounds. 3 belt loops, and I even have to have a new one because you can see that I still got, wow. That was this morning. I was like, holy crap, I need a new belt. I've changed some of my clothes. I've changed how I walk. I changed how I talk. I changed how I see life. I changed how I see you. I changed who I am with. I have changed where I live. And the difference is I'm awake. I'm present and actually living my life and not having it lived for me. Now, one of the things that I've been really grateful of is even when it was really, really hard, I started to smile for no reason. And then the reasons came. I have a lot to be grateful for. A lot to be grateful for. So my ask of you guys is, what's your acronym for awake? What's it going to take for you to be awake? Maybe one of these totally resonates with you. No matter how awake you are now, we can always be more awake and present for our lives, in our lives, directing our lives. So I want you to think about that. Is like, what is it going to take for you to be awake? This is what it took for me. These are the steps. But what's your acronym for awake, being awake? I raised my vibration. I've challenged myself to get out of my comfort zone. I'm living authentically. I have the courage to have the faith and the trust that even though I don't have to know where I'm going to know that I'm going in the right direction, like the affirmation said. That's huge. That's so huge. Trusting universe and living this way is a game changer for me. I can't express that enough. And then embracing curiosity. I'm super curious about everything now. Like, what's that? I want new adventures. Now I want new adventures. I want to try new things. I want to go in a hot air balloon. You know, I want to have some more fun. Right, Ron? Yeah. I want to go to Spain this year. I want to travel. I want to have new adventures. I'm giving myself permission to do that. 2 things and I'll close. The lyric from the Semisonic song called Closing Time. Every new beginning is another beginning's end. So everything is just an evolution and it's all okay. And that leads me to gratitude. Remember what the spiritual definition of gratitude was that Rev D talked about? Where our appreciation relishes the thoroughness of the journey. That last part, I say to myself every single day. Somebody cuts me off on the freeway. I am grateful for the thoroughness of the journey. Now I smile at people in the produce section. I'm happy, guys. And that came from being awake and allowing the new beginning to come forth. And imagine if we were all living awake. Imagine what the country would look like. What would the world look like? What would our families look like? Living awake, being present. It's changed how I live my life, and I know that it's changed the people around me. I am attracting different people to me. I am attracting different opportunities to me because I'm different. I'm awake. I'm the awake Kim. And I'm so grateful. And this community has been with me through it all, and I am grateful for it all. I've started a little creative outlet on Instagram. I only have 7 posts, so don't get too excited. But if you're interested in following me on Instagram, you can. It's Tortoise Woman, one word. And I also put together all the songs that I shared with you today. I put it in a Spotify playlist if you're on Spotify. It's called New Beginnings for Inner Light. So if you're interested in hearing the songs that I shared with you today, connect to the Spotify playlist. And with that, I'll ask that we go into prayer. You guys. Smile with reason. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be up here. Thank you, Rev D, for allowing me to be up here, trusting me. Thank you for trusting me.